have been putting this video off for a super long time. Not even just the video, the actual doing it myself. But videoing was also kind of a hurdle because I thought, oh, I've got to get everything out. I've got to be in the right mood while I'm actually filming. If ever I want to do this, I'm not in the mood to film it, or it's like the middle of the night. So I have been putting this off for a super long time. It's a lot of makeup. It's not the average consumer's worth of makeup. After almost 13 years of reviewing makeup on the internet, it probably shouldn't be, but it's also been a lot more than this in the past. I've had a much larger collection and I really want to keep it to kind of a manageable size more than anything because I keep finding myself buying things that I can dupe within my own collection and I'm just wasting my money. So I have a video on Friday coming up that's going to be kind of like a beauty budget, my low buy for 2023. But before I did that, I wanted to take a big inventory of what I had already, mostly because I wanted to see and identify the areas where maybe I had already too much stuff and maybe I don't need to be bringing in more of X. But also I thought since I was bringing everything out, it was literally tipped everything out onto the floor, I should do a declutter at the same time. So it was very useful. And on Friday, I will share with you the numbers before and after, and I will be sharing with you how many of each category I'm going to allow myself to purchase this year. I did go around the house looking for, you know, through handbags and stuff like that. It's always possible that there's a stray item. I know for a fact there's a powder in a handbag downstairs. There might be a lip liner somewhere, but I did my best to kind of corral them all, round them all up for this video. And I'm not going through lip products today because that is a video in itself. It's too much. The general concept of this is that I want to encourage myself to use what I've got, and hopefully you might feel encouraged at the same time. So if I use some stuff that maybe was from 6 months, 12 months, 2 years ago, you might have that thing as well and be like, do you know what, maybe I don't need the newest, most special whatever launch from wherever, whoever. You've got something already that maybe you just need to find a little bit of excitement about, and that's what I'm going to try and do. So settle in. It's going to be a really long video. I'm going to go through everything that I've got, and I'm going to be sharing with you what I'm deciding to keep and putting aside what is going to my daughter and my best friend. Looking at these drawers, I feel like I've mixed these two boxes up because I think I've got more primers, or at least they're larger than the concealers. Some of these I completely forgot that I even had. So these are the ones that I'm keeping. These ones I want to talk about in a video soon because either they're finished up or like they're new, whatever. These ones are the ones that I know that I like. These ones are going to Ella. This I found in there, which is an eye serum, and I don't think I've ever opened it, so I'm going to throw that in my skincare. Concealer, to say that I don't really use concealer all that much. I haven't done. This is a lot of concealers. These are the ones I'm keeping. These are the ones that I want to be using up soon. This one I want to test because I can't remember how I feel about it. I know I really liked the powder, but I broke that. And then these ones are going to Ella because either they were the wrong shade for me or I just didn't get along with them. And often Ella likes foundation products that I don't. Foundations, this is too much. I just found these. So this technically is a concealer. So I'm going to throw that into my concealer tally, but this is a lot more difficult than I anticipated. It's really difficult to get rid of some of these things, but also there's probably a reason that I never go into my foundations because this is too much. Okay, there's some stuff I've got duplicates of, some stuff that I just know doesn't suit me. I'm just going to try and make some snappy decisions. The only one I'm actually getting rid of is this. I really liked it, but it really made me break out, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Ella is not going to thank me for that. These are the ones that I'm going to put in my everyday makeup because I want to be using these more. This, I saw something the other day where I was talking about it, saying it was the most amazing thing in the world, and I'd completely forgotten about it, so I want to put that in my everyday rotation. These are the ones that Ella's getting, so I'll be interested to see how she feels about this. And then this is going to be the rest of my foundation drawer. I'm very pleased with myself. Oh, I also only have one powder foundation, which is from Primark. This is really good. I don't really wear powder foundation, but I'm going to keep this one. I know I have more pressed powders than this. I'm not going to go digging around in every single handbag that I own. But minimally, I know that I have my Hourglass pressed powder in my handbag downstairs. That's not going anywhere. This, I completely forgot about. This was underneath a load of stuff, but this is kind of like an elf version of the Hourglass ambient powders. I didn't really like it. I didn't feel like I was getting anything from it. I'm going to pass that one on to Ella and see if she likes it anymore. This I'm going to keep. I really like the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder. And these are the MAC blotting powders, which used to be my absolute favorite. This was a little bit too dark for me, but as you can see, I used it almost all the way up. I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm gonna keep this one, but really I mostly use pressed powders to put in my handbag, like for touch-ups. Loose powders. This is tricky because I've actually started using loose powder a lot recently. So I think I'm gonna keep all of these. This little under eye setting powder from e.l.f. is actually not available anymore. It was one of my absolute favorites. This little under eye setting powder from e.l.f. is actually not available anymore. One of my favorites. But even when it's totally used up, I'm going to keep the container because it'll be useful for like travel. I knew this was going to be a difficult category. I actually think some of these I need to put in with my primers. Like this one is a Prep and Perfect. And this is another priming spray. Oh, and this one too is a priming water. I'm actually going to pass these along to Ella. And this one, there's so little left of it. I'm going to throw that in my everyday makeup to get used up. Okay, so that slightly diminishes it. This is actually empty, so we can get rid of that. This is crazy, but it's the only thing that I've got that's like it. This I'm going to put in my everyday makeup because I want to do a review on this. I didn't enjoy it. It was sent to me. It's still almost completely full. This I'll probably pass on to Ella and see if she likes it any more than me, but I want to review this first. Love, really enjoyed this. This is just a mini and it's never been opened, so I'll keep that. And these are my absolute favourite, Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And lots of you contacted me when Morphe filed for bankruptcy and said, maybe you need to stock up. Then these are the ones that I'm going to pass on to Ella. This one particularly, I've never pulled it out, but it smells really, really nice. The watermelon from Ciate. And the Morphe mattifying. A lot of these mattifying ones are really, really good, but I'm just not really, that's not what I'm looking for right now. Look at that. Now they fit perfectly in the little tray. It's a beautiful thing. I want to briefly touch on these because I didn't even know that I had them in there. Blotting paper, I never ever use, so I'm gonna get, this is really cool, isn't it? Look how cute that is. So I think Ella will enjoy that, but I'm gonna keep this, which is actually like a washable, reusable blotting sponge. This is a lot. There are definitely things in here that I'd forgotten about. 24, and this is just the cream and liquid blushes. Ella's pile, my pile. This still seems like a lot, but I use them more than any other kind of cheap products. I just love liquid blush, and I was trying to kind of like reduce, and I thought this is crazy because I am legitimately using this category a lot. Was not anticipating having more powder blushes, but I can definitely get this down. Some of these ones feel very collectible to me. Like this is not available anymore. This is an old Urban Decay blush, and these were obviously from specific collections. Also, I found that I've got little mini California and Dandelion, which is really all I was keeping this Cheek Leaders palette for, so I'm going to give this to Ella, as well as these individual ones. I think that these are the only other face palettes that I've got. When we go through the other drawers, if I find anything else, we'll add to the tally, but I'm going to keep this one because it was again a limited edition one. You can't actually get Becca products anymore at all. This and this I'm going to give to Ella. I have bought this several times from Sleek. I never really use it very much. I really only ever buy this again because I'm going to do like full face of makeup under this or compare it to something more expensive, which I'm really trying to not do anymore. Bronzers and highlighters. We'll start with powder highlight because this is something that I don't use a ton of and I can definitely get this down. Obviously I'm keeping these because they're amazing. Do you know, I have this, but I've pretty much used up the one that I like, which is Dim Light. And there's still these two left in there. So I think I'm going to give this to Ella because that's too frosty for me. That's too bronze, but she might really like them. Hit pan on this mini Dim Light. There's just a small amount left, so I'm not getting rid of that. Topshop makeup isn't even a thing anymore, but this is so unusual. Look, it's like a colour shift. I don't know if you can see in this light, but it's like iridescent, like a pink, blue, gold. I'm tempted to keep it just for in case I ever want something that's really cool like this. I mean, look at that. This is too frosty. I never ever use this. Same as this. This is too dark. I bought it because it was on sale, but it's way, way too deep for a highlight for me. What I really wanted was a full size of this Celestial powder. And the shade of that one is Candlelight. The shade of this one is Sunlight. Another product I just don't know how to use. I think this is called Mirage. And honestly, I think I bought this because of the name of it. But also, I think I bought this because there was something wrong with the Estée Lauder website. And if you bought anything, even the very cheapest thing, you got this for free. I'm sure this happened like it was years ago. I've like never used it, so I'm going to put that in with Ella's stuff too. I have these two Becca highlights. This little mini one is called Opal, and this is definitely more the shade that I would use, but I never pull it out. I'm going to throw that in with my daily stuff. This is Champagne Pop, which is the one that everybody loved, but the packaging is like NARS. It gets sticky and something's happened. The outer layer is gone. So I'm going to give that to Ella, see if she wants to clean it up. But I never, ever reach for it because the packaging is so gross now. The Fenty, I love. This is the Kilowatt Highlight in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. Really enjoy that one. But again, don't use it very often. I'm going to throw that in with my everyday stuff. I want to keep this Milani one. And then this Colourpop one, I've just never been able to make it work. It feels like you can't use it with a brush, but I wouldn't use it with my fingers because it's still a powder. So again, I'm going to pass that on to Ella and see if she can get more from it than I can. I think that was a pretty good run. This is tricky because these are very, very frosty to my memory. These are more my vibe, what I actually would enjoy. These are kind of when I want, I mean, especially this one, when I want a little bit of extra something maybe on the body. But these ones, I kind of just want to be like, right, none of these. But at the same time, maybe I should swatch them all first. This is another one of those keeping for fun. You can't really see in the pan, it looks super gross now, doesn't it? But it was called, well, it is called Moonshine, and this was a highlight that was available when I worked for Urban Decay many moons ago. I've decided to keep these ones of the like frosty ones. I swatched them a little bit and may have judged them too harshly, so actually I'm going to put these in with my day-to-day stuff. I thought I was going to have more cream bronzers, honestly. The only one that I use regularly is this one, which is the Butter Bronzer. Is it called? Oh, sorry, Cheeks Out Butter Biscuit Bronzer from Fenty. I really, really like this one. I'm not going to keep this. It's really old from collection. It's more of a contouring pencil and it was very grey. It wasn't really for me. This I'm keeping forever. I bought it online. I mean, again, it's this gross packaging I hate. Is there a way of cleaning, like alcohol or something? It was called a multiple. I don't even know if they still make these. But it's like a really heavy duty bronzing stick. I really, really like it and I'm keeping it forever. This is like a gel sculpt from Illamasqua. So the only one I'm getting rid of is this, and Ella won't want it, so it's a toss. Same with powder bronzers. I expected this to be a larger category. Maybe I'm going to find like a box of makeup somewhere. The only one in here that's like a little bit out there is this, which again was from a matte collection. I might just put all of this stuff in a separate drawer because I very rarely use this stuff. I mean, you can see it's still got the imprint on it there. This was from a Rihanna collection a long time ago, so I'll be keeping that. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't think I've ever used it. This one can go to Ella. Solar powder. I've kept this for the longest time. Also, when did this happen? Did this happen while I was doing this? Can't even remember the last time I wore anything that colour. That's by the by. I've kept this for a long time. I really did like that it was kind of a nice kind of sheeny bronze, but it's old at this point and I don't use it very often and it's not even like you can buy it, so I'm gonna toss that. I'm gonna give Ella this little mini hula. I'm gonna keep the Dallas because I don't have a large size of it and I don't even know if you can buy Dallas anymore. And then that just leaves me with 4, which I think is reasonable. Okay, technically 5. Probably should have started with this drawer when I had the most energy for this project. I barely know where to begin with this drawer. This is crazy. So we'll start with primers. I'm only going to keep 2 of these. I'm actually going to call these different things and I'm not sure which one of these is better. So I'm going to do a test right now. I know that I'm going to live to regret putting glitter on the back of my hand, but also I'm keeping this one because it turns out there's just nothing coming out of here anyway. And of the regular primers, I'm keeping the NYX HD Studio one and the Hourglass. This is a little bit creamier than the NYX. This is like really hardcore. It's staying on all day. The Revlon I like. Obviously Urban Decay is one of my favorites, but I just don't need to be keeping them all. They're not going to stay good, and this is probably 10 years old. I have 4 gel eyeliners and I never use gel eyeliner. Now I will say this is green and this is kind of like a burgundy color. It's like an old L'Oreal one from maybe like a violet black, like a Christmas collection. So I'm actually going to keep these 2 because I think I quite liked those for the formula, and these 2 I'm going to give to Ella. The real question here is how many eyeshadows can you have in the same color? I do have a glitter category and these 3 could be put in that category, but I would use these more regularly than what I'm considering the glitters. Same with these funky ones from Bobbi Brown. These I'm keeping, these for Ella. Also, the sparkle on that Bobbi Brown, I don't know why I don't use that more often. And I'm going to put this in with my, I'm actually going to put this one in as well. This is a really black matte colour. I thought this would be good for liner. I'm going to put these in with my everyday collection because this one's called Birthday Girl and it is almost my birthday. I never, ever, ever use these pencils. I've started using the Charlotte Tilbury one again recently, but so rarely do I use pencils. I've just gone through and swatched everything and decided to keep these ones. Just had to run downstairs to get the door. And as I came back in the room, I saw this that I forgot to show you from the MAC Mariah Carey collection. I will add this to my tally, but I'm clearly not going to get rid of it. Right, let's just get into the glitters because I've been avoiding it. I've just swatched a ton of stuff and made some decisions. I never, ever use loose pigments. I have a friend who is really into glitter, so I'm going to pass all the glittery things that I decide I don't want onto her. These are great from Stila, but this is actually all dried up now. These are really, really similar. I don't even know if this was like part of just a temporary collection, but Pixie do some liquid glitter eyes that are very, very similar to the Stila, and they stay on. The Glam Crystals eyeliners from Collection are also really, really good for that. I just hate fallout. And these from Barry M, these are like these ones, that purple and green there. They are like a liquid formula, no fallout at all. They're kind of like a foil. I know they're kind of crepey there, but there's no primer on underneath. These are the Pixie ones, just so gorgeous. Whereas that one in the middle is like loose. I'm just never ever going to wear that, am I? So these are really kind of the fun things I'm keeping. Some glow-in-the-dark paint. This is the glitter that I would use with this glitter gel that I decided to keep. I'm getting rid of anything that would be a loose powder, or rather, sorry, a pigment. And I'm keeping the things that I feel like are the right shades for me, or that are really good in terms of, I mean, I'm not going to use these very often, but I know that they're really good for no fallout. It was tricky to categorize these things because some of them could maybe be glitter, but I'm going to call them creams and liquids. This is one of my absolute favorites. If it ever comes back, it's like a cream. It's almost like a cream to powder, and it's the most gorgeous cream. Again, cream glitter, I don't know, from Chanel. I will have that forever. Even as it dries out, it's still great. This again from H&M. I really, really like this one for like a really easy smoky eye, but I don't know how easy it is to get now. I don't even remember what the shade is. Dauphine Truffle. I don't know how dried up this is now. Again, are these even available anymore? I don't know if this is dried up. I'm going to put this in my everyday stash, and if it just doesn't work, then I'm going to get rid of it. But I kind of forgot I had this, truthfully. These I never really gave a fair go from Glossier, but they blend really nicely when I swatch them on my hand. So I'm going to keep those. All of these I hate. I did not get along with them. These from Bobbi Brown, what are they called? High Shine Liquid Eyeshadow. It's kind of a similar thing with the Pixie. The Pixie ones are swatched there on my hand. It's just kind of like I don't get it. Don't get those products. Don't enjoy. This is just too bold for me from that new brand called Gen C. I'm going to pass all of these along to my friend who likes the glitter because she might get along with those. This is going to be an easy one. The majority of these are dead. I know that this one from Hourglass I'm using at the moment. It's still got plenty in it, but it's not my favorite. It's just that I don't think there's anything left in any of the other ones that I like. This from number 17 is way too dark. I've just tested all of these and they are all dead. Brow gel. I bought this one, the Brow Glue. And again, I feel like I never really gave it a fair shot. So I'm going to put that one to the side. This is too dark for me from Gen C. The Maybelline Tattoo Brow is way too crazy for me. I think that this Gimme Brow from Benefit is too dark. I've got this lighter shade of Gimme Brow. I'll keep that. I mean, this is forever old, isn't it? This Glossier is too dark. This is a clear one, so I'll keep that. And these ones from Lacura, I think there's a light and a medium, and they're fine. So these ones, I'll keep that one. These ones I'm going to pass on to Ella because she's got darker brows than me anyway, and she might kind of mess around and experiment with them a little bit. I've also got this Highbrow Glow, which is like a pencil that you put underneath your eyebrows. I don't think I need this, but I'm going to keep it because I have been playing with heavier makeup styles recently, and it might be fun for when I'm trying to recreate stuff. I've also got a soap brow styler and a little, what on earth is on this? It's like fibers. A little spoolie. I think the spoolie can go. I'm probably just going to use a clean mascara brush if I decide to use this again, but I'll keep it because I don't want to have to buy it again if I feel like playing with soap brows. I've also got this lash glue. I think somewhere I've got one pair of lashes, but I very rarely use lash glue or lashes at all. So I'm going to keep this. Just kind of a shocker for someone who used to wear liquid liner every single day. I have a total of 2 liquid liners. I'm going to throw both of these in my everyday stash just to get them tested, and if they're dry, I'm going to get rid of them. I'm going to be fast with this because there's some stuff in here. I mean, you can only have so many mascaras, especially ones that are open, but some of these are new. So yeah, Ella's going to get a lot of mascaras. What I'm keeping, what I'm passing on. This is going to be a trickier one. What I'm keeping, what Ella's getting. I do just want to highlight this trio from Physicians Formula. It's a matte, a satin, and a shimmer. And I absolutely love, love, love these. This has to be the biggest difference of this entire thing. The final draw for this video. As with so much, I never go through these things. I never pull out new palettes because everything was just shoved in there and it was just too much. So I'm really hoping to get this down to a point where I can actually be excited about going through and experimenting with things. The first one that I'm going to put away, I saw it a second ago, is this one. It's been a long time since I opened this, actually. I have a whole video about this. This was a palette that I created that never came to be. If you search for my channel, it was supposed to be with Makeup Revolution. I have a whole story. I didn't really use it very much because it made me a little bit sad, truth be told. But looking at it now with fresh perspective, I still think it was great. Bobbi Brown makes some of the most amazing glitters. This is Urban Decay. But I've held on to these palettes for exactly that reason. I don't think I need to be holding. I mean, I haven't used them for a couple of years. I feel like this one particularly was incredible. I know my friend who's obsessed with glitter, she wears it all year round, would really appreciate this. I mean, some of this has never been used at all. So much as it partially pains the hoarder in me, I'm going to pass that along because she'll get so much more use from it. Same as with this one, which again is so beautiful, but I just never ever reach for it. These two are really slim, so they're not difficult to keep. I'm going to keep the two of these. This is a Revolution palette that I just keep for Halloween. Again, very, very rarely use it, but I'm not going to go out and buy other Halloween makeup when I have this, so I'm going to keep this. I was sent this sleek palette before Christmas. When I first because it was still in the box, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, I'll give that to Ella, but it might be interesting for some videos, so I might like swatch it or do some videos and then pass it along to her. This is a gorgeous travel size palette from Jouer. Never ever used it, I don't think, so I'm going to give that to Ella. Collector in me really can't get rid of the Naked palettes. I just can't do it. Although I have been thinking about doing a video with the original Naked palette recently, because surely loads of us have this. I bought this palette forever ago to do like an Amazon makeup video, and I don't even know, looking at it, maybe I used a couple of them, but I feel like I barely used this, so I'm going to put that in my stash and maybe I'll get some use out of that. This I bought for a video to compare with the Naked 2, but I've got the Naked 2, I don't need this one as well. This Lorac Pro palette is one of my all-time, it's like definitely up there, maybe top 3, so this is staying. I'm going to pass on this Pixie palette, although there's some really funky colours in here that maybe I don't have elsewhere, but I'm just so rarely going to actually reach for them, as well as this Wet n Wild one and these 3 Primark ones, which are really, really good. But again, I kind of only had certain things so that I could say these are, you know, how they compare to more expensive ones, and stuff like this doesn't stay available forever. I'm going to keep this new Classics from e.l.f. and I'm going to throw this in my everyday makeup collection because I forgot all about this and I really liked it. Quite enjoyed this last year. I'm kind of on the fence about keeping it. Again, it's quite slim, so I'm going to keep it for now and we'll see how much I use it. Another thing that I'm keeping, because how could I not keep something that looks like this? This actually is from the year that I started my YouTube channel. Let's look at these mini palettes. How much of this do I really need to keep? I think I'm going to keep the little e.l.f. ones because I do really like the formulas of those. This is a great example of, I bought this to compare with cheaper things. Didn't use it very much. I really like the little mini Urban Decay ones. The problem, I mean, this I've been really enjoying. This is the mini one in Sin. The problem with this is the same as the other ones. That horrible, horrible packaging. I'm going to Google. There must be a way of cleaning these. These two, I really didn't like this from Fenty. I'm going to pass this on to a friend who might enjoy this more than I did. It is the Snap Shadows in Wine. It just didn't work for me. And then these ones are from Viseart. They're just not shades that I would wear all that often. And I do have this matte shadow palette from Viseart, which is Neutrals Matte 1. Would highly recommend. It is super expensive. It was sent to me for a long time. I didn't use it for that reason, but they are absolutely gorgeous, really, really blendable shadows. So I'm going to pass these ones along to other people. And then the last one to look at is the Naked Ultimate Basics, which theoretically I want to keep. I'm in the black. I want to keep this because I'm like, this is totally my kind of jam, but I have this in other things. I mean, I have most of those shadows in the Viseart, which I really like, and it's a lot more compact than this one. I don't feel like I need to be keeping all of this stuff, so I'm going to pass this on too. Actually, I tell a lie, I found some more as well. I'm going to keep the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions. I really do like this. Again, really nice blendable shadows. I've kept this for a long time from NYX because I thought, well, if I ever need any of these really crazy pops of colour, but they're not very good. They really don't blend very well. It's difficult to get the colour off, so I'm not going to keep that. Although I am still keeping quite a lot of palettes, it's still a lot less than I had before, and I'm not including these little empty ones. Definitely now more of a collection that I can kind of play around with and look through to see what I might want to use, rather than it being so stacked up that it was going to be, oh my god, I have to like move 14 palettes to find what I might want. I really am so happy to have finally done this, and it's kind of shocking how many things in my collection can totally dupe things that are in my Sephora basket right now. I was definitely, I mean, eye crayons. I told you in this video I never ever use eye crayons. Right now I have some eye crayons in my Sephora basket, like, I don't quite like the idea. There are things that I buy because I like the idea of them, but in practice, I don't use them. And doing something like this at the beginning of the year was so useful for exactly that reason, because I now have kind of, it's kind of like doing a financial budget at the beginning of the year. Before you get too spendy, you go, whoa, hang on a minute. I already spent this on these things and I didn't actually use them. Maybe I'll rein it in a little bit. That's my plan anyway. So if you've got more than just like a little makeup bag, if you've got a makeup stash, I would highly recommend that you do this as well. It's a really good exercise. Even if you don't feel like you've got lots of stuff, you might be surprised. And you remind yourself what you've got, and it's a bit like a shop my stash, but more like, what are the categories of things that you have? Do you need another liquid highlight? I mean, I probably do. I really do love a liquid highlight. But either way, I am feeling good about the fact that I've got a big basket of things for Ella. I've got a smaller basket for my friend, but whatever Ella picks over and doesn't want could also go to my friend. And something that I have neglected to do in the past that I will try to remember to do this time is if they have like massively differing opinions about certain products than me, because there's certain things that I will try and be like, oh, do you know what, I really don't like that product. And it's not fair to say it's a bad product, it's just not for me. Most of the time it's preference, but it can also be skin type or even the tone of the product. Sometimes I'll give things to Ella and she loves them. It happens quite frequently, especially with higher end things. She'll really like a foundation or a mascara. And it just, like, I would be like, this is terrible. But that really helps, because when I'm reviewing things, I feel like I try to be a little bit more fair and balanced, because I know that just because I don't like it, there's someone else in my house that absolutely loves it. So it's so subjective. So anything that I pass along and they say, oh my god, this is so amazing, I'll try to remember to update you on, at least on Instagram, if nowhere else. But that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this has been entertaining, if nothing else. Maybe I've kept you company while you were cleaning the kitchen. That's usually what I would be doing if I was watching a video of this length. And maybe I've inspired you to go through your stuff, or to maybe try a low buy or a beauty budget, which we will talk about on Friday. I'll see you then. Bye!